I Think You Should Leave is one of the fastest growing absurd comedy shows in the early 2020s. Alongside established fan favorites like The Eric Andre Show and Nathan For You, it's successfully designed to be highly quotable and memeable.
I have everything on this phone. I always just look at it. If I ever feel weird at all, I'm just looking at it.
Season 3 delivers handfuls of new sketches that are enlivening, refreshing, and satisfying. Some of my favorites being Guy Who Goes on His Phone When He's Losing an Argument.
That's exactly the point I made 2 seconds ago.
Fuck!
Guy Who's Only on a Dating Show to use the zip line. Guy Who puts on a VR headset and forgets how to move his body.
I don't know how to work the body.
It's you. It's you in there.
How do we move our bodies ever?
What?
And you gotta give this kid an award for this line delivery.
What'd you do to him? Breathe! Breathe! Dad, fucking breathe!
If you were to make a Vines That Cure My Depression style compilation of sketches from this season, you gotta include the Darmine Doggy Door, you gotta put Egg Eater in there, you gotta put Metaloid Maniac.
A Metaloid Maniac will zip around the magnetic metal board he built, revealing a piece of the photo of the phrase.
But there's one sketch this season that prevails above all, and that's because, all things considered, it's a masterpiece. And that is... What if I said something that wasn't the title thumbnail here? Like, what do you think I'm gonna say? Yeah, it's Shirt Brothers. You know it's Shirt Brothers. This sketch checks all the boxes for me. Concept and execution, quotability, performance or delivery, the message or moral, and emotional impact. These elements shine through in all of the sketches. For example, the idea of starting a pay it forward chain, so you pay for the dude behind you in line, and then getting immediately behind that dude, so now he's obligated to pay for your
55 burgers, 55 fries, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas.
is hilarious in concept alone, and the execution is great. I love the implication that people just know that this is a thing that happens, because as soon as the lady behind him finds out what he's doing, she also starts ordering
55 burgers!
Ah, shit!
The team on this one, and by the way, I do stand with the Writers Guild of America because we wouldn't have these sketches without the writers, pay them, are absolute masters at dishing out bangers one after the other like a double combo.
I'm well within my rights to kill you right now.
But don't you love me?
Ah! I'm going on a date.
The line delivery is a worthy factor in contributing to the live rent-free in my headedness. You know, what's the difference between what the fuck and
What the fuck? What the fuck?
yeah, it's practicing your craft. I find it very wholesome and enjoyable when the sketches have positive morals despite their unapologetic madness. Like when there's a bit of character development in Guy Who learns to stop talking about his kids at parties and actually has a great time. When you start to bring several of these elements together, like the message and the moral of accepting differences and focusing on what really matters, combined with a stellar performance and well-crafted musical climax, you get a powerful emotional impact.
Wild on, tonight we go wild on.
Why am I so moved by the rat mom who just bought a cup of dog shit like it's a drug deal? So when you bring all these elements together, you get an excellent sketch. But what happens when not only do all the elements of that sketch come together, but when the emotional significance is parallel to real life events? Now, if you're sitting there right now like, what? Just wait a sec. This is why this sketch is a masterpiece. Concept and execution. Guy who goes to his daughter's 4th grade fall concert, becomes Shirt Brothers with a stranger,
Hey, sure, brother. Nice to meet you.
and now has to juggle helping him out of an existential crisis and being there for his daughter solo. Great concept, great execution. When his newfound Shirt Brother pulls him out of the show for some help, he explains that he went into one of the classrooms and destroyed the place. Quotability. Are you kidding me?
You know, just fucking go nuts in here. I started spinning around, going nuts.
Line delivery.
I tried to rip the Wright brothers off the ceiling, brother.
And so, you know, we've got all these elements going. You know, you got a great concept, you've got the performance, you got the quotability, and then you get the message and moral of this sketch.
Can you tell me why you really did this?
I've been listening to this new song, and they're saying there's no rules.
Close to the release of Season 3, actor Biff Whiff, beloved fan favorite known as Detective Crashmore and Santa Claus in the earlier seasons, revealed that he had been diagnosed with cancer. He says that he has no idea if or when he will recover. And unless the creators of the show or Biff Whiff himself come out and say so, there's no way for sure we can know their exact intentions in writing this sketch and how this moral so closely could align with what someone might be going through in reconciling that they have cancer.
You go through life and everything starts to feel really flat. Then you read something or you see something and you wake up, you feel inspired.
I think there just might be no rules.
Yeah.
But whether or not it was intended, it's what shines through. If it's what people see, if it's what people feel, that's real. Tim explains that he needs to get back to the show for his daughter, and his shirt brother makes him promise
Promise me 1,000,000 times that you will never do another rule.
the music builds. His wife is wondering where he is, and with time running out, they're forced to settle things.
Listen to your daughter's solo. It's too late for me. I'm awake now.
Emotional impact.
Go on.
The song about no rules starts playing. Tim starts running back to the show. The energy on the stage is high. His wife is worried he's not going to make it there in time. Shirt brother is pacing in the room. Tim swings in the door just in time. His wife is happy. The kids are in a flow state. His daughter pops off on her solo. The audience roars in applause. Tim lets out a sigh of relief. He's here. His daughter's here. His wife's here. We made it. And there's no rules, he's going nuts! By the way, this song is not on streaming services, at least not yet. This was made by the band Turnstile, and it appears that it was made for this show. He wrote a sketch that used this song that
He built.
God. All of these elements coming together in conjunction with knowing about Biff Whiff's real-life cancer diagnosis leave a viewer not knowing whether they should be laughing or crying. Now, before the "it's not that deep" mob comes for me, and if you do choose to comment "it's not that deep," thank you for the engagement on this video, I appreciate it. Am I really saying that this sketch, which is about two guys that see that they're wearing the same shirt, are then assumed to be partners in crime, in which one just goes nuts in a classroom for no goddamn reason other than that he heard a new song that said there's no rules? Am I really saying that that was written to have some profound meaning in it? No, not necessarily. But it could be. And what's interesting about that is it important what the intention of the author was? Jacob Geller has a really good bit about this, explaining that
contrary to the frustrated memes of kids in English classes, the curtains never have to be just blue in art. Subtext, metaphor, thematic parallels can be read from everything. You can draw meaning from a plot point or item description, even if the author thought they were just creating some curtains.
that is what art does to us. We are storytelling creatures. That's why we project and reflect our own experience through art. Art reflects life. That's why they say that shit. So whether they masterminded the sketch to be this way or it's completely serendipitous, it resonates and I love it. It's amazing. So first of all, they need to release that song on streaming services. It's so damn good. And second of all, these moments that build up that kind of climax of absolute silly bullshit with profound emotional sequences are what I live for. Along with the announcement of his cancer diagnosis, Biff Whiff shared a GoFundMe from his Instagram account. The I Think You Should Leave community is rallying their support of our beloved Shirt Brother. And so if you're able to, you gotta give! And if you're unable to, just promise me 1,000,000 times you'll never do another rule again.